show you an update that we've made recently, and that is the creation of private cards. So previously, within a board where you're working with other team members, all of the cards were visible to all of the board members. However, you might have some personal notes or some items that you want to follow up, and you don't necessarily need to share that with other team members. Might be something that you want to work through on your own, or even just notes on how you're tracking with a particular task. So we can create a private card which is visible just to you. So the way that we can do that is that we come into a regular card like we would normally do, and here on the right hand side I can see I've already got an eye icon, and this is telling me that this card is visible to all of the members in this board, just like these other cards that we're looking at here. So if I start to type my card, tracking on support quests, notes, and if I click this icon, this eye icon, it is then crossed out and it gives me an updated status saying only you will see this card. So now I can press enter and my private card is created. So we can see that this private card is already different to the other cards because it's shaded in grey. So from the outside I can see that this is my private card. No one else will be able to see this. This is specifically for me. Now if I click into the card, we can see that in the top right hand corner it's also telling you that this is visible only to you. I can add a description, add subcards, and you'll see that this is already saying that these subcards are also only visible to me, which makes sense. One of our recent updates is the ability to see who is editing a card within a board. So at the moment I can see that myself and my colleague Andrew Reynolds are working in this board because we both have the green dot highlighted against our profiles. I can also see, if I look at this board, that Andrew's profile is also here. So if I hover over, I can see that Andrew Reynolds is looking at this now, which is fantastic. So if I come in, I can see Andrew Reynolds is editing this description. So it hasn't happened yet, but he is in this card and doing some editing as we speak. So this is a fantastic feature update that we've released recently, and it gives you the ability to see what is happening across a board when multiple members of the board are participating and collaborating. So we can keep an eye on who's doing what and expect to see some changes. Another great thing is that this leads into our second update that we've just released. And if we look over here on the right hand side, we've got recent updates. Recent updates, if I click this open, gives us a really high level view rundown of what is happening or what has happened in this board. So for example, I can see that myself earlier this morning, or a few minutes ago, I made some changes to some of the cards here. I can even expand this to see all of the changes that I've made. And I can also see that my colleague Andrew Reynolds, as he was here editing this particular card, he's made an update. And I have the ability to click on this card, on this change, and see that he has added in a comment here. So he's also @mentioned me, which is fantastic because I get that notification that you saw in the from my email to say, hey, you've been mentioned in a comment. And so the idea around recent updates, we know that a lot can happen within a board, and if you're away for a couple of days, or it's a board where you sort of jump in and out, a couple of days a week or once every couple of weeks, it's nice to be able to come and see a little bit of an audit trail, whether that's in the recent updates or in a particular card itself. I'm getting more of an update now about what is happening, and I can also see that Andrew is still looking at this card. So this is a fantastic new feature that we have just released, and it can be really helpful for seeing across multiple boards what's been going on and make sure that you don't miss anything important. So now we're on to our next feature update, and this actually links in with our previous one. So when you saw that Andrew Reynolds mentioned me in this description, I had an email notification that popped up in the bottom right hand corner. So if I come across to my email and see what that looks like. So when Andrew mentioned me, I can see that this email notification came in, and it actually tells me all the details of what happened as well. He said, I'm able to action this for you, Hayley Burkout. I will let you know when this is done. So I've got more information here, which includes the card that it was mentioned in, the board that it happened in, and if I hover over, I can see that I've got links here as well. So I've got the option to open this card, open the board, and again here open the board and even reply now. So I can action this directly from the email, which is fantastic. And if I want to go and have a look inside, if I click this, it's opening for me now. And it's opened the card itself, which is great. So I can come in here and respond. So there's a couple of different ways that you can manage your email notifications. If I come up to the top right corner to my user options and I click email preferences, I can see here that I've got the option to select some of the preferences that we have available. So what are the notifications that I'm going to receive via email when things happen in a board? So I can turn these on and off as required. I've got them all on at the moment, and I find all of these are really useful, but it depends on how you use Huddo Boards, the type of projects that you're working in, and how often you want to receive that email communication. Another feature update that we've released recently is the ability to change the permissions on groups. So if I come across to my right hand side here to members and open this up, I can see that this board is connected to a Microsoft team and it has inherited the group of the team. So 2021 Priority Delivery Areas is the team that this board is associated with as a tab. So we have the option now to change the membership of all of the members who are in here. So all of these members could be owners of the board, they could be editors, authors, readers, or owners and authors. And you get a little status or information when you hover over the last one. So here I've selected that everyone will be an editor. For me, this is the best option because I know that all of the people in here, with the exception of my colleague Jared, who is not part of this Microsoft team, he's been added directly into this board, I know that everyone else will have a fairly high level of participation. So I want them to be able to edit existing cards, create their own cards, and Editor gives them a nice level of permission and ability to make changes to this board. So I can come and see this in Huddo Boards in the members area here. I'm accessing Huddo Boards at the moment via the web, but I would also be able to see this in Microsoft Teams. Likewise, if you're using HCL connections, you'll also have the same option for updating the permission levels of your community as well.